Hey there. Do you feel like you're too invested in the initial dating phase, like in the getting to know each other phase? Like you feel like you invest too much, or you're maybe being too needy, or you're basically arranging your whole life to be with this other person, thereby maybe leaving out some of the things you really want to do, or put things aside that are actually also important to you. If you're doing that, then this video is for you. And hey, if this is the first time that we meet, I'm Jonas, and on this channel we talk about authenticity and personal growth. We provide tools and ideas that help you gain clarity, freedom and fulfillment in your life. If you haven't yet, consider subscribing. So I actually know this phase a lot, that I might invest too much of myself in the getting to know each other phase, or that I start to do things, arrange my time, or arrange everything around being able to have time for this person, to get to know each other and to do stuff. But on some level I might feel that I'm actually not 100% aligned with myself. So if you know that feeling, then you might be familiar with this feeling of you're so invested that but the other person it feels like the other person is not that invested, and it just feels a little bit weird inside of your system. And even if it doesn't feel weird, or even if the other person invests the same amount, then still you might feel like you're doing things that aren't 100% true for you. For example, I'm actually currently traveling in Latin America, and I recently met a girl that I find quite interesting. And I met her, and I spent some time with her, and then I actually rearranged the coaching, I think 1 or 2 days in advance, just so I would potentially have time to spend time with her. And the irony of the thing was that at this time and at this day where I moved the coaching around, or that I moved it away, at this time we didn't even meet, we didn't even spend time. And it was kind of like this ironic situation where I was trying to make all the time for that woman and me to spend time with each other, but it didn't even happen. And at the time when I actually rescheduled that coaching, I already felt there's something wrong about this. There's something not really feeling good. There's something not really fully aligned. But I still did it. And so if you know that kind of feeling that you might arrange your life around it, or you just invest too much in it, then here are some things that I've learned myself that could help me, and that could hopefully help you as well. So the first thing that's really important is to really listen very closely what feels truly right for me to do, or for you to do. What does really feel right to do? Because oftentimes when we are fully honest, we already do know what feels right and what isn't, what we should do or what we shouldn't do. But what could happen is that we want to make sure that everything is going fine with that person, that we can, spend a lot of time, or that that the other person doesn't get upset. And we might start to do things that don't really feel right or true, but we still do them because we are afraid if we don't do them, maybe it's not going to turn out well. Maybe we're not gonna get together with that person, or be able to see that person again. Really listening, and really listening closely to what we really want in that getting to know each other phase is really important. So sometimes that might mean saying no to something that the other person is proposing. Or sometimes it might mean to express your authentic desire, or what you would really want to do, or what you would not want to do. And then what comes up is this fear of oh, what if I say this, then I lose this person, or if I don't have time there, then I might lose this person, or this whole encounter might not go ahead, or all kinds of fears and stuff is coming up. And what we need to be able to do is we need to be able to feel this fear and ground it out. Work consciously with this fear, rather than thinking, okay, if I do this is the safe thing to do, so I do this, so I'm gonna be more safe that this relationship or that this encounter is going to get ahead. But this is not authentic, and in the long run we are not going to attract the right kind of relationship, or the kind of relationship that we really want, if you're not acting in the way that we really want to act in the getting to know each other phase. And by the way, if you don't know how to ground yourself or deal with that fear, I will link another video on how you can deal with anxiety and how you can ground yourself and ground this fear. If you want to check that out, make sure you watch this video. And so this brings us to the last part, which is sometimes it is important to just inquire inside of ourselves and say, so how am I actually behaving right now? And is this the way that I want to behave in a relationship? If I'm not behaving the same way that I'm behaving in a relationship, that I'm behaving in a getting to know each other phase, I'm not saying about like certain things that you might get more accustomed to and more relaxed about, but in general, like, am I acting in integrity with how I want to act in a relationship? Or am I trying to be someone else when we're getting to know each other? Then suddenly when we're in a relationship, everything should be different. And if you realize that you're doing things in a different way than you would actually do if you were in a relationship, then ask yourself, why do you do that? And sometimes it can really help to like journal this down and write this down, like, how are you behaving in the getting to know each other phase, and how do you want the relationship to be like, and how do you want to behave in a relationship? And then compare the two and see like, what are the differences? And then ask yourself, for each of these differences, why do you do that differently? And some of the things are maybe just normal because you realize, you just don't know this person yet well enough, and there might be differences. But some of the things that are fundamental and important to you, that are not aligned with how you want to be and how you want to be in a relationship, in the getting to know each other phase, you should really inquire, why are you doing that? And also see what might be behind why you're doing that. Like, are there some needs that you want to have fulfilled? Are there some fears? What is behind the change in your behavior? And for example, like when I look back at my example, like I just wanted to have as much time possible with this person as I could, and the need there was to like, I don't know, like to like make the best out of the time that we have together, because she was going away after after a few days. But then I would still have to like inquire inside of myself, is that really in integrity to just have all of my day be completely open only for if that person wants to spend time with me? And if I really listen there, like, it's not 100% true. So what I could do in that moment is I could actually talk to her about it and say, look, what about this and that day? I have that coaching there, and I would love to spend some time on that day. I might be willing to change that, to move that, or not, but like I check in with her and just see, such that I'm not like just giving myself blindly to this potential opportunity. And maybe for you it could be something else. Maybe it could be like a need for connection. Like you want to connect with this person and you feel like maybe you're feeling lonely and you want to connect and there's a need for connection. And this is why you change your behavior. And then you could ask yourself, how could I fulfill that need in a different way? For example, like with family or with friends, how could you have this need of connection be fulfilled so you're not so dependent on this other person and change your behavior in a way that's not healthy for you? Sometimes you might want to have communication about these kind of things with the other person, in the example that I said, or you want to like fulfill your own needs in a different way so you can act more in alignment with how you really want to act in this getting to know each other phase and in the relationship. I hope these tips helped you. Let me know in the comment which of these tips is most helpful for you, and if you have any other tips to apply in that getting to know each other phase and to be in alignment with how you really want to act. And hey, if you liked the video, I would really appreciate you hitting the like button. And if you want to support my channel, I would really appreciate if you subscribe to my channel and make sure you turn on notifications if you want to be notified when new videos are going to come out. And so there are so many videos on this channel, I would invite you to check out some more of them. This one is the one that I talked about how to ground anxiety and fear. And this one is a video where I talk about how to connect with someone authentically. So have fun watching and have a great day. Goodbye, everyone.